Everyone, welcome back to Ebony with Genghis. So I want to talk about the new war crafting medals in the Senate. There's some tips in here that can help you out because not all generals are equal, and some surprising names give a lot of medals. So we'll take a look at it. I also want to take a look at some new stuff they made in the All-Star shop. So we'll take a look at it here. And basically, they added some new castles. And then also in the general chest, there's some new generals in there. Some of the new premium, super premium duty officers. But if we look here, before, those were the only castles offered. And now they're adding some of the nice ones. That Gothic one is nice. It's one of my favorite ones. It has 15% march size, just like the stupid alien ship one that I use all the time because I want the march size. So no matter what castle they give, I want the march size. But hey, maybe I'll buy the Gothic one just so I could sit in that and it's nicer. The Mediterranean one's nice too. The Roman one's kind of a funny one. When I see that in Battlefield, I always think like, oh, here's a guy who hasn't coined in 3 years. But you got to know your opponents because sometimes people will wear older keeps just because they like them or just to trick people like me who think that. So here we are in the research factory and the crafting of the metals. So we all know you got to use a general, you throw it in, and that's it. It comes out with metals. But some come up with 30 metals, some come up with 6,000, some come up with 7,200. So if we look in here, and I'll craft one fragment of Rhaegar. He's just a regular general. He's only going to give one fragment. So I'll craft them and then or turn them into a medal. And then you go over here and you can see that my medals only went up 1. And that's because I did 1 fragment of him. 30 fragments of him will result in 30 medals. Now, I'm going to do a Shajar. And watch this. There she is. She's no longer in the tavern too. I'm going to show you that. I can't believe that. They removed her. So she gives 6,000 medals, Shajar. So if you got some Shajars, craft her up. I thought for sure she would only give 30 medals, but she actually gives 6,000. And there's 3 types of generals in the research factory that you can craft. There's tavern generals. They will give 30. That's it. So it's going to be really hard if that's all you have and you got to get, like 50,000 of them, right? Because each one's like 6,000, 8,000, 12,000 to level up. So it's going to be hard. And then premium generals, which is what Shajar is listed as. So you can see here, she's no longer in the tavern. That's a change that they don't announce these things. So here's the list of the medals and what you'll get for them. So tavern generals give you 30. Premium general gives you 6,000. And then the epic premium will give you 7,200. But I don't recommend using any of those epic premium ones because, they're hard to get. And the other ones that give you 6,000, only a few. So obviously use Shajar if you can. And another one that's really secret, he's actually epic premium. He gives you 7,200. It's how I did almost all my Senate. It's Raged King. So he's only available on the wheel. So I guess Ebony counts that as very difficult to get, very high level. And they give you 7,200 for him. So one way, so these packs, you could look through in different packs in Ebony and you could get an idea of who all the epic generals are. Because some of them, they might surprise you. They're generals that you don't really respect or think are, worth it, or very valuable, but they actually are valuable in here. So this is the number of medals you'll get for each one. And I'm going to show you a little trick of how you can figure out which ones will give you a lot of medals. So what you got to do, you got to go into the select all here. And it's at the bottom. You can see the green check mark. So what you're going to do here is you're going to select all. And it's going to select all of these different full 30-piece general fragments, general tokens, I guess. It's annoying you can't do one at a time. You have to select them all and then deselect the ones you don't want. And then that'll help you find out which ones are worth 30 fragments or 30 metals or 6,000 or 7,200. And what you're going to have to do is look at the time, because it doesn't actually show you how many metals you're crafting. But if it's under an hour, I'm not sure if everyone has different crafting time or not, but for me, a 30 metal Tavern General is going to be 43 minutes. I'm not sure what yours is, but it's going to be low. And then if you find one that is 5 days and 23 hours, that's what I get, the time I get when I do a 6,000 metal general. And then if it's higher than that, I know it's 7,200. It's not much higher. It's about 7 days. Now, you have to select them all and then unselect them and then see how much time's remaining. And you just do it by trial and error. And it's really hard to tell because like you could see me testing here, and I'm going to test and I'm going to do Jan Carroll, and he is 6,000. I thought for sure he'd be 7,200, but he's not. So it's not a easy thing to figure out. And like I said, Shajar, I thought would be 30, but she was 6,000. So that's a really nice surprise. And then I'll do Isabella here in the Isabella Norway. Is that her name? And she's 30. So as you would think, because she's available in the tavern and she's a low-level general. So it's really hard to tell. You can really only go through trial and error, but as I said earlier, don't waste these generals. Try and do it with easy to get ones. Try and luck out and find ones that you don't need that are 6,000. Like Athelflaed is 6,000, but she's pretty good. She's really good against monsters, and she's someone you might want to upgrade eventually after when you have extra Blood of Ares, right? Because anything to kill those monsters with less wounded, especially if you're on a newer server. But play around with them, figure it out, and that's the strategy you should use, because you're just not going to get there by doing all tavern generals. Let me know in the comments any other tips you guys have for this, and help everybody out, and like, subscribe, leave a comment.